It's like that first down there. Need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
That QB's trash. Let's go. Whip. Watch the whip.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 28.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Newton. Complete to Hilton. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Watch the screen. Pass. 20.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Christian Wilkins has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Hey, Shady. Check to recon, 132 fighter. Hey, quarter.
On 3rd and 1, Rosen is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now they try the right side here. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the ball comes loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. And that's complete to McCaffrey. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And he is the NFC reigning offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther 1st down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Ready? Gun.
Back to throw, Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Strong left, strong left. And
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. It got his man complete. A big play there for the Panthers. 43 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 2nd down, Newton.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Great. Switch. Check 24. No.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a huge return as they take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Check. You got nothing. Kick 3. 218. Chopper.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd second touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Monday. Get wide. Check. Monday. Hot. Check. Hey, exit.
And this time, Rosen will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now it's Rosen. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right down the middle. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
To try again after the sack. Throws it. Going to throw right side here. Complete. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Newton. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he'll take this down inside. The 15-yard line.
It's your time, we still
over 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Ready? Watch my board. Ready? Watch the edge. Check 90. Hard.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now a run with McCaffrey. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
180, 55. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen.
To throw on 3rd down, Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from it?
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. McCaffrey. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that? Hitting the defense hard early. And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll run with McCaffrey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. A shotgun snap for Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche, it's got... right on top of him.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here again is McKinnon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
I'm here all day.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Any weapon. Watch his slant. Watch his slant. Hey, Sam off. Check 26. Check 26. Hey. High 7.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's some guys, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 31-yard line.
On the ball.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They run once more with McKinnon, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. Fourth down now.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile. He stopped that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
I can't believe they let you play.
8. Check 37. Check 37.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Okay, buddy, I see you.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down.
Watch twist.
Great. Gun.
Out of the gun, Newton. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard. And they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. There's no need in keeping it low key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train.